Hi, thanks for checking out our channel. What this video is going to be about is just kind of an overview and my thoughts on this product as a whole and the brand in general. We're mostly a repair place. We work on all brands of electric fence chargers. So there's our website, fencerfixer.com, and we also work on cattle scales and low bars for different brands as well. But that's what we mostly do. But what we've done recently in the last, let's see, we're just first part of February 2021. Back in like October, it's been going on for a while, but back in October, me and my wife were talking, because we get lots and lots of phone calls and emails and stuff from people. You know, we also get units in from different brands, and people ask us, well, if you're going to buy a new one, what would you buy? Or what do you think is a good brand? What do you think about this brand or that brand? And we usually give them about like 2 or 3 brands we're to look at, because we work on all this stuff, so we see what's good and what's bad that's out there. And for the last like 17, 18 years, we've been mostly strictly repairs. I mean, we're still 90% repairs, and we sell some parts on occasion. But we get people that ask us those questions, and I'll usually recommend Gallagher or a couple other brands, depending on what their budget is and what they're trying to, you know, what they want to get. But the last couple months, we've decided, me and my wife were talking, saying, well, if you want to, maybe we can talk to one of these companies about getting set up as a dealer for them. I was like, well, you know, I don't have a store, I don't have a website to sell this stuff on. I have a little 2-car garage shop behind the house, but I really never wanted to get into stocking and selling stuff, which we don't at this time. We're not stocking stuff, but we did in the last couple months get set up through Gallagher. They consider us a repair dealer, so we're still repairs like we've been for years, but now we have the capability of buying the Gallagher product. And when me and my wife were talking, she's like, well, if you want to pursue this as being a possible dealer for some brand, you know, because people will ask us, well, do you sell them? You know, I'll buy one from you if you got one in stock. And I'm like, no, I don't sell them, but here's the places you can go buy them at. Look online, local store, stuff like that. I wasn't really big into wanting to sell stuff, but my wife said, you're talking to people for a while, and, you know, if you want to sell them something, you maybe ought to look into maybe becoming a dealer for one of these brands. She's like, well, what brand would you want to sell if you were going to do that? What brand would you want to work with? And I said, well, you know, I'm a repair guy by trade. I don't sell stuff. You know, I can point you in the right direction what to buy. But if I was going to buy one myself as a repair guy, and I want something reliable where I don't have to worry about repairing it all the time, because I get enough stuff in for repair. I didn't want to deal with the headaches of some cheap brand, cheap quality thing that, you know, I could probably set up with Zariba or Power Wizard, somebody like that. But we chose to go with the Gallagher brand, just because they're, from a reliability standpoint, they're just really, really good. We don't hardly ever get any new Gallaghers in for repair. Most of them are like 8, 10 years old, or they're 15, 20, 30-year-old units. We get a lot of older ones in, but we are, as of now, officially a dealer, you know, repair dealer, but we are a dealer for them, so we can now get the Gallagher product from them. And also, a good thing about us, when you buy, if you choose to buy one from us, you know, you got to call me up or send me a text or something, and there's my number right there. You can call or text me at, or email me if you want to email me. And you know, I won't pressure you into buying nothing from me. I'll help you, point you in the right direction of what one would work for your situation. But we are still a dealer for them, and being with Gallagher's headquarters for the United States, for their distribution for all the farm stores all over the country, is a 45-minute drive from where I live at. So it's not a big deal for me to drive down there and go pick something up if I need to, you know, if I don't have it in stock. You know, Parmak is about 35-minute drive from me. I could have probably gone on board with them too, which we still might, but I'm not the biggest fan of their stuff, so that's why I didn't choose to go on with them, because I didn't want to get some cheaper brand and have the headaches of someone buying it and, oh, this thing's junk and it doesn't last and it's only 3 months old and it quit on me. I didn't want those kind of headaches. I just wanted, if I was going to sell something to somebody, I wanted to get something that's quality to them. They'll use it for years, and, you know, they won't have the headache of it just randomly quitting. I mean, they do have 3-year warranties on them. Lightning's part of that warranty, but they are a quality product. You know, so you do pay for that quality. They're not giving these things away by any means, but the money you save buying a cheaper brand of unit, goes right out the window when you got to send it in for repair, when this one will probably still be running. The only thing that really ever gets the Gallagher stuff is lightning. That's about the only thing that really ever gets them. So we're going to open up pull this unit out of the box. It's a Gallagher M1500. It's a 15 stored joule unit. And it's an adaptive control unit, which means it adapts its output energy based on what it feels on the fence, the conditions of the fence. So if it's a pretty clean fence, it might be putting out only 10 or 20% of its power. As soon as it feels an animal touch it, or a bunch of grass starts growing up on there, it adapts its power output to that condition, so it ramps its power up to fight through the shorts and problems on the fence harder. And when it feels that the stress on the fence or the animal bounces off the fence and goes away, it will bring its power back down. So these things run really efficient on the inside. They don't, so you can put a big unit on a small fence with one of these. Let's just say if you got goats or bulls or something like that just won't respect the fence, or sheep, then you have to get into these 10, 15 joule units or bigger to get that kind of power. But then you have to worry about them overheating, because some brands on some models, they don't have that adaptive type of technology, and they put out all the power all the time. So when it feels that, if there's, say you got a 100-mile fence charge, like a Zariba 100-mile or whatever, people will put that on, let's say, a half-mile of fence or whatever, and which is fine. It'll run good for a little while, but over time the thing's going to get hot and it's going to randomly quit, because the transformer gets hot in those things because it can't get rid of all its power because there's not enough fence. And something's got to give, and those things are really cheaply made on the inside. Put out a lot of power when they work, but they'll randomly quit because of those issues. They'll just, transformer coil will burn up, and things stops working, then you got to send it off for repair. It's half the price of one of these, roughly, maybe a couple hundred, maybe $100 cheaper or so from one of these things. But the quality of this one compared to that one is 10 times better. So we're going to plug it in. It's got a row of lights here on it. Got one red, two yellow, two green. It's kind of like your fence performance gauge. So depending on what your fence is doing, this is how it depends on how high up this goes. So if you walk by one day and all the lights go into green, you're good to go. If you walk by a month later, it's in the yellow, and you make, okay, I got some grass on my fence, it's dogging me down a little too hard. If it goes all the way down the red and it's kind of staying in the lower yellow and the red, it means you got a bad problem. Something's really dogging it down. So at a glance, you can see exactly what it's doing, and it's good quality construction on these things. They use good knobs, good bolts. The other thing about Gallagher, they make all their stuff in-house. They don't outsource it to anybody. They build their own transformers in-house. They build their own boards in-house. They assemble their own units in-house. So all the quality control is done by them. They use good bolts on these things, so you don't really have to worry about them arcing and burning up and chipping away like some brands do. So good knobs on there. The knobs have red and green inserts on there, so you see fence and ground. Has the symbol for fence and ground on there. It also has it engraved into the case, so you take the knobs off, you're like, oh crap, which one goes where? Just look at the symbol and match it up, basically. Or if you drop the knobs on the ground, you pick them back up, and you're like, oh crap, where's it go? Just look at the symbols there. So it's a split bolt on there as well, so you slide the wire in, goes right through here, slide it in there, and it's tightened down. And you don't want to over tighten it, so just hand tighten. That's all you got to do. I've seen some people on certain brands, they'll tighten up there, have a pretty big gauge wire on there for whatever reason. And they'll take a pair of pliers and crank down on it, and then they'll cross thread it or twist the bolt off or break the knob. So just hand tightens all you got to do. These are UL listed units, so they're certified under that. They are also they're not waterproof, so you got to make sure you keep them installed indoors. What they would recommend, see, it says indoor use only, but if you put them outside, you've got to keep them protected because there's no gaskets on them. And this goes for any AC model of any brand. They're not really recommended to be outdoors unless you build a box for them or some kind of cover. So we're going to take it apart here. I'll show you the inside. That's the other good thing. If you buy one from us, you're going to get the service after the sale. So because we're mostly repairs, but we can do all the warranty and non-warranty repairs on these things. It's not common to get one in, but they occasionally come in. But it's almost 95% of the time, it's almost always lightning. I've never seen a Gallagher unit, a newer one, come in that's got random failure of its own doing. It's almost always lightning. So there's the inside of it. Got a nice, really nice looking circuit board inside. It's got two big capacitors, one big transformer. It's a nice layout on the board. I also got a conformal coating on the board to help with corrosion, oxidation, stuff like that, to prevent that. Which doesn't happen that often, but it's on there just in case, to try to prolong the life of it. But like I said, it is an adaptive unit, so it adapts output to the fence conditions. So you can put this on a big fence or even a small fence and still not have to worry about of it overheating and having problems, because it says right on the back here, Gallagher puts this on almost all their units. It's a Gallagher M1500 15 storage joules. They've got typical fence, which is like this, with multi-wire with a bunch of grass on it. And it has typical fence, which is a clean fence, single strand. So on a typical fence, miles and acres, it will do, multi-wire fence would do 40 miles of 360 acres. On single strand of fence or cleaner fence, it would do 160 miles, 900 acres. So it packs a pretty good punch. And then they show the inner workings of it as well. But it's a good quality unit. It's I can't say anything bad about it. I mean, like I said, it's an adaptive control, so you don't have to worry about you put on a smaller fence without it hurting the unit or hurting the fence. So I'm going to put the case back on there. It's good construction, good quality plastic. Some people think plastic's plastic, but I've seen some plastic be on some units that crack and break. This is, I don't know what it's made out of, but they don't have that problem with these units. So if you're looking for a Gallagher fence charger, get a hold of me. I'll happy to help you out. We'll probably meet or beat any of the prices on the stuff. So if you find a price on there, we'll meet or beat the price on there, of course. And you also get the service after the sale, so we'll help you out with repairs or questions on the unit. They got a 3-year warranty right out of the box. You don't have to register it or anything. So when you buy it, it comes with a 3-year warranty. And they do have a 30-day money back guarantee on it. So if for some reason it's not the right unit or whatever, you don't like it, which is pretty rare to have that situation happen, but they do have a 30-day satisfaction guarantee on it. So, but get a hold of me. I'll be happy to help you out finding a fence charger, especially if it's Gallagher related. So hopefully it helps you out and gives you some good questions and everything. But until next time, we'll see you guys later.